Introducing the Hamilton Khaki Aviation Pilot Pioneer watches in two awesome sizes. We got large and we also have small. There is no medium. And you can see them here side by side. One is a 43 millimeter watch and the other is 38. Would have been nice to see maybe a 40 mil, but we're going to look at them separately for a little bit to give each some airtime. The small one is a 38 millimeter, and for me personally, because I have the khaki field in 38, this one is compelling, something that can go alongside with your khaki field watch. Technically a pilot's watch, according to Hamilton, based on the Model 23, which was a chronograph from the 40s, World War II. They supplied 27,000 of them to the troops, the American troops. And these watches borrow from that mono pusher pocket watch chronograph design. Of course, they're not chronographs. They're simple three-handers with no complication. Seiko did the same thing with the Crown chronograph in 1964. They made a watch based on the style, and it was just a simple three-hander as well. So maybe we could have done without the reference to the vintage piece and just said, hey, you know what, guys? We made a vintage styled aviation piece, and that would have been enough. Now, this watch is absolutely beautiful. It has that old radium faux patina with beautiful cathedral hands. Everything works here. It's a well thought out, clean look, and I love that they're both no dates. Both cases are completely satiny brushed, very smooth to the touch. Now, the larger one has an 8 mil push-pull onion crown, and the smaller one is a 7 mil, giving both watches 100 meters of water resistance. Now let's do the measurements of the bigger one. 43 millimeters in diameter, thickness of 13.2, but that's including that double-domed sapphire with blue AR. All right, so you can see a little bit of blue right there. Very nice. Hamiltons usually don't have AR, so a nice addition, and a lug-to-lug of 52 even. So this one's a big one with long reach. Now the small one, 38.1 in diameter, a thickness of 11.4, and a lug-to-lug of 46 even. So very compact here, and as you can see, they both have bezels. The bezels are bi-directional. What's interesting is it takes 4 clicks to move 5 notches. So it's like a bezel for a GMT. It's a 48 click bezel. All right, so that's a little bit strange for both. Both are the exact same. It has a nice tension to it, not too soft, not too hard. I think it's a well done click. It doesn't feel cheap. Both these watches have beautiful brown calfskin leather. The smaller one is 18, tapering down to 16, and the larger watch is 20, tapering down to 18. Both have display case backs. You can see basically the ETA 2824 Hamilton H10 movement. This one's automatic, and this one is a mechanical based on a pocket watch movement from the 50s made by Unitas. It is now owned by ETA, so this is an ETA 6498 with small seconds at 6. Beautiful movement. Wish they had the blue screws. I think it would have made a fine addition to this watch because it's a beautiful, clean movement, but maybe a little bit too simple with the normal screws here. The way the Unitas movement winds is perfection, guys. You got to wind one of these. Oh man, this is how a mechanical watch should wind. It's just heaven on earth. It's so clicky and mechanical. It feels so satisfying. You owe it to yourselves to own one of these watches just for the amazing way it winds. Now, I forgot to mention that the bezel insert on both is a mineral crystal. All right, it looks like sapphire, it looks shiny, but it's actually a scratch-resistant mineral crystal. Now, the dial and hands, both of them have beautiful cathedral hands, and both have a beautiful asphalt texturized dial. Looks like freshly poured asphalt. And I'm loving the railroad minute track on both. Gives it some great style with beautiful Arabics printed on the dial. On the smaller one, I don't like that they put khaki automatic. Never a fan of when they put automatic on a watch. Maybe Pioneer would have been nice there, the name of the watch, but I digress. Now the price. The smaller one comes in at $9.95 USD and the larger one $12.95 USD. So $300 more for the bigger watch with a different movement. All right, and here they are side by side. You can see the comparison. Look at the chasm and the difference between them. Wow. Here you can see it next to the SKX 43 versus 42. It really towers over the SKX. And we're going to see the small one next to the SKX just for a better visualization. There you go. You can see 38 versus 42. Here it is on my 6.5 inch wrist. The 38 wears perfectly. Man, it's fantastic. Definitely a contender to go against the Khaki mechanical field I own. But they can live in the same collection. They're very different in vibe. Okay, here is the larger one on my wrist, and it is a huge difference. Definitely too big for my wrist. I think a lot of people do like the big watch look still, even though we can clearly see there is a downtrend in the industry moving on to smaller watches. Okay, so I think this is the first ever 6498 on the channel. So this movement is a pocket watch movement made for watches. But yeah, it started in the 50s. And it's just phenomenal movement, and it's a tank, it's robust, it's a beast, and it's well proven. And look at that weird lift angle, 44, and you can hear that ultra low beat, 18,000 VPH. And there's no beat error, very clean, but the rate is high here, 13, 12, 12 in the fourth and final round, 12. Now the balance is very big on these pocket watch movements. Some say balances that are bigger are more accurate. I think they're less accurate in my opinion, but I'm not sure. I think it's still debated today. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think the smaller balances are more accurate. Anyways, this one, 19, 15. Let's ignore the first number. Beat error 0.1. Amplitude did get a big drop at 238. And I don't think we're going to do the other movement on the smaller watch because it's just an ETA 2024 Hamilton H10. We've done it many times. And I think we're running long. So let's do the last bonus round because we're skipping the first number, fourth and final round, plus 15. All right, so not the greatest accuracy. And it is a low beat, but it's small seconds. You can't really see it. Okay, there is the loom shot. And as you can tell, very powerful on the hands, even though it has the faux patina. The Arabics, a little bit weak here, typical of Hamilton loom. I wasn't expecting powerful loom, to be honest, and I was right. A little bit below average loom. Really do dig these new releases from Hamilton. The Pioneer is gorgeous, and I love that they gave two different sizes. A little bit of nitpicks with the word automatic on the dial, and no blued screws on the pocket watch movement. I think that's a big missed opportunity. Love the bi-directional bezel. It's a countdown bezel. It's going to be opposite of a dive bezel, but very cool. Maybe it would have been nice if it was a 12-hour bezel so you could time a different time zone because these are pilot watches or pilot-themed watches. But overall, an excellent addition to the Hamilton line and maybe an alternative to the Khaki Field. Are these watches on your radar? And if it is, let me know down below. And if you liked this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one.